Shalom Akim, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to all you brothers out there pushing this truth, in whole heart and sincerity. And shalom to all the Akim and Akawakim out there, that may be listening to hear this video. Now it's your brother Samak back at it again. I'm going to start with the first precept, Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was once since there was even a nation. Since there was a nation even at to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And that's true, man. There's a time coming to the world, specifically speaking of America, man. There's a time coming that was not going to be like any other time in history, man. Any time documented, any time undocumented, man. And this time and this event is going to be documented, man. And I'm gonna get a precept to back this one up, to go right with it. Jeremiah 30:7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Yeah, man, that's called Jacob's trouble, man. It's considered Jacob's trouble. And that's the time that's coming. It's going to unfold, man, to where you're going to have civil unrest, in all of the cities, man. You're going to have cities getting shut down. You're going to have, rioting. You're going to have, people turning against the government and the police. You're going to have the policing system itself actually crumble, 911, and then ultimately because of that, they're going to have to issue a martial law where you're going to have military troops, man, FEMA troops and stuff, running the streets, man, with high grade equipment, high grade, weapons and vehicles, man, tanks and different things like that, patrolling the streets, blocking off all the major highways, man, and the scriptures will get into it a little bit more. Now I'm going to jump to 2nd Esdras 15, I believe, and I'm going to go down a little bit. I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand. Yeah, that time's coming, man. It's going to be a time where people are going to fight against each other, man, with swords, man. You're going to have people fighting with literal weapons, man, bats, machetes, knives, and then guns, man. You're going to have people out here shooting each other, robbing each other, man. It's going to be like the purge, man. It's going to be like the purge out here, man. It's going to be bad, man. It's going to be bad. You're going to have these proud women that are going to get their judgment, man. And even these men that feel, these so-called street thugs, gangsters, and, these different things, man, they're going to have to, stand up to their name. They're going to have to live up to what they claim to be about. But in reality, when Esau come down, man, Esau's going to come with his sword and his blessing, man. And it's going to show. Even these low-level Edomites, man, that blessing is going to show, man. And we're going to see the power that Esau has in him, man. So, these regular jakes, man, that just carry guns but don't, train like Esau do from a young age, they're going to have problems, man. It says, verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, sedition among men, man. That sedition, man, is them rising up against the government and all the political powers, man. They're not gonna regard the governors, the police commissioners, the president, nobody of power, man. These people they're not going to abide them, man. They're not going to pay them any mind. The people are going to do whatever they want, man. The Lord's going to send spirits out to these people to rise up against each other, man, invading one another, running into each other's houses, man, stealing all their goods, because it's going to go, you watching these movies, survival movies, man, Walking Dead, the purge and different things like that. People going breaking into people's houses looking for food, storage, because during this time also is when a famine is going to hit the land, man. It's going to be a famine of bread, food, and water. It's going to be scarce because you're not going to have people working in these different food factories or warehouses and markets and stuff like that. So, and the delivery drivers that actually deliver the food to these markets are not going to be working. So when that happens, man, people are going to be raiding supermarkets. People are going to be raiding each other's houses, man, looking for food, shelter, medicine, antibiotics, man, all different type of things, man. It's going to be crazy. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. It says, for because their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. Yeah, like I said, the martial troops, they're going to block off the major highways, man, into the cities, the bridges. They're going to do these things to avoid people from going in and out, And if you watch The Walking Dead, you've seen in the scene when they were in Atlanta how it had all the cars just blocked and stopped on the highways, man. It's going to be like that, man. It's going to be blocked off. You're not going to be able to leave the city. You're not going to be able to come into the city, unless you sneak out. But you best believe you ain't driving out without clearance, Hey, man. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Yeah, man. Like I said, man. Your own neighbor, man. Your own next door neighbor. He see what you coming in and out of your house with every day. He see you always bringing in food from the market, always bringing in cases of water. You know what I mean? He see you eating good, whatever. You might be a little fat boy, whatever, man. Hey, man, they watching, man. Nobody knows you better than your neighbors, man, about what you got coming in and out of your house, especially those nosy neighbors, man. They're going to destroy their houses, man. They're going to go in, breaking down the doors, breaking the windows, raiding in that joint, stealing all your clothing, your food, your water. Hey, man, they even going to be, some of these guys even going to be trying to take your wives, man, rape your women, your children. If you got little girls, man, hey, man, it's going to be crazy, man. Let me go down. I'm going to go down a little bit more. Let me see. Let me see. Select it. I think that's all I wanted to get on that. But let me go to another precept. Let me get Isaiah 13. And I'm going to start at... what's that? In fact, I'm going to read verse 12. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Yeah, so, that's talking about the men of the Lord, man. Those men that's in the truth, man, that was laboring, before it's time to come, and those that the Lord kept, steadfast. So, these are the men that, a lot of these women that have a false sense of security nowadays. When that time come, all that shit going out the window, man. And they gonna be looking for a man to protect them, And then they gonna see the men of the Lord, how well put together we're still gonna be during that time. How we're not gonna be moving with fear. We're gonna be moving with confidence and faith. And they gonna realize that. And they gonna see like, yo, that man has something that nobody else has. He looks like he's well fed. He's nourished. He has shelter. He's moving with confidence, It doesn't even look like there's an ounce of fear in them. Of course we'll have slight bit of fear, it's natural human instinct, but for the most part we'll be filled with faith and confidence, man. Let me go down, verse 14. It says, and it shall be as the chase row, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own man. Yeah, so you know how you see these Edomites walking up and down the streets with Jake, these Jakes walking up and down the streets with these Elamites, man, with these Ishmaelites and all these other nations, man. Hey, man, all that stuff gonna come to naught, man, because the race wars is going to come. So everyone's going to feel more comfortable with their own people, with their own kind. You're going to have Jakes with Jakes, Edomites with Edomites. You're going to have Moabites with Moabites, et cetera, et cetera. You know, you're not going to have these people just being with each other because everyone's going to be for themselves and try to flee into their own land. And I can see it when Jacob's trouble starts to happen. These people that have dual citizenship, man, you know, I can see it now. You know, trying to get flights back to their home countries. You know, you might have Chinese people that'll try to go back to China, Russians that go back to Russia, Arabs that go back to where they, whatever country they from. You know, I can see that happening. It says, "For everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes, and their houses spoiled, and their wives ravished." Yeah, man. If you ain't got no protection in that day, man, hey, you're liable to get your children taken up and destroyed, man. Your women raped, man. You know, it's going to be crazy if you ain't have no protection. And ultimately, the protection you really need is from the Lord, because you can have your carnal protection, but that'll only get you but so far. You know, it says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, and they shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." Because, you know, money, you know, in the modern day society, you know, we go by the Federal Reserve notes. And these papers, man, they ain't gonna be, they're gonna be meaningless during that time. Because at this point, that's when the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, is gonna be implemented and mandated, man. So you're not gonna be able to eat and get into certain buildings and go through certain gates without having that chip, that identification, man. It's gonna have all your information, all your identification, and all your financial information on that chip, man. And without that, you're basically like a deserted, like a rogue citizen, man. You know, and that's how the men of the Lord are going to be, because we ain't, you know, Lord willing, we don't take that. Well, the men of the Lord are not going to take that chip, man. Lord willing, we be those men. You know, the men of the Lord are either going to die for not taking the chip, or they're not going to take the chip and they're going to live off the grid, man, under the radar, you know. It says their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, and their eyes shall not spare children. Yeah, so man, these demons, man, these devils, they're not gonna have no pity for a woman that's pregnant. They'll cut the baby right out the womb, man, and kill it before your face, man. Or do some crazy shit, man. They'll fucking take your children up 3 years old, 4 years old, 2 years old, whatever, man. And then, like I said, dash them to pieces before your face, man. Kill them, destroy them, stab them. You know, you got some sick people out here that will rape your little girl, 5, 6-year-old. It's some sick shit out here, man. It's going to be some sick shit out here, man. Yo, it's going to be some shit like you ain't never seen before, man. Like, we say it now and prophesy it, but it's probably going to be, it's most likely going to be 2 times worse, 10 times worse than what we even can imagine it now, man. Because we can only really go based off what we see, man. What we have seen, you know. We can't, just like the kingdom. We can't really describe what the kingdom would be like because we have not seen anything of that heavenly level, man. But it's going to be the same thing where we have not seen anything of that evil level that's going to come upon this place. But we have an idea of it, you know. We definitely have an idea. And let me see. This is Zephaniah 1 and verse 14. It says, "The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly." Yeah, so you're going to have mighty men that claim to be tough, big and tough, you know, in this walk of life, that when that time come, man, they're going to cry bitterly, man. It's going to be that bad. It's going to turn a gangster to a bitch, man, in a heartbeat, man. That's what Jacob's trouble is going to do. You feel like you had all the answers. You feel like you had the way now. Well, in that time, it ain't going to mean shit, man. These rich people that feel like they got protection in that time ain't going to mean shit, man. You know? It says, the day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Yeah. You know? Just how in Amos 5, the 5th chapter, talks about, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, man. Woe unto you, man. Because to what end is it for you? You hasten on the day of the Lord, but you don't even know what the day of the Lord is, man. And you have not done anything to prepare to keep yourself saved in that day, man. That's why we striving to be deemed worthy to escape the judgment, man. Hey, brothers and sisters, man, pray for that, man. Ask the Lord to deem you worthy to escape the destruction to come, to feed you through famine, man, to protect you through tribulation, and allow you to remain faithful, man, because that's what Jacob's trouble is going to be about, man. Jacob's trouble is going to be about, Zechariah 13. I'm gonna get that just for edification's sake, because this is the whole point of Jacob's trouble, man. Not just the judge, not only this, but this is a good reason for Jacob's trouble. Zechariah 13:8. It shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and died, and a third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. Exactly. How is my power, man? That's what we're going to say, man. Because, that Jacob's trouble is going to be the process of bringing us through the fire, man. We're going through the fire now, but, we're just, we're just getting to the heat. We're just getting to the heat. We ain't really in the fire yet, man. But when this time comes, this is going to be the real fire, because this is going to be the real test of faith. This is going to be the real test of your confidence in the Lord, man. Just abiding through the true temptation, true tribulation of all costs, man. This is going to be the true test of faith. And this is going to be the judgment and destruction for 2/3 of our people, all the way into the missiles, man. Psalms 34:7 says, the Lord, the angel of the Lord encamp around about them that fear him and delivereth them. So if you fear the Lord, man, and you really doing right by the Lord, doing what you got to do in the spirit and truth and sincerity, man, the angels will protect you, man. And you got to have faith in that. Lord willing, this video is edifying. Till next time, shalom.